All right, we gotta find a VCR. Kids watching this probably have no idea what a VCR is. See, isn't this better than sitting in front of a computer? We're actually like doing something. I actually have sweat on my brow. I've been sitting in front of a computer since March. There we go. We got a VCR, we got a TV, we got videos. Where do you want to start? You know, I grew up out in this like pretty rural area. We didn't have sidewalks or anything like that, but there was these ditches out there. I never saw skate videos, magazines, or anything, and I just skated these ditches for like years. And then I remember one day I went over to my friend's house and he was like, oh, let's go watch Future Primitive. And I was like, what's Future Primitive? And he like looked at me so crazy and he's like, it's like the best skateboard video ever. And he like, boom, boom, put it in. I was just sitting there like, whoa. Well, I'm a future primitive and I skate to live. This is skateboarding, like, it's more than just riding these ditches. That's it, that's what I want to do. I want to skate, I want to be a skateboarder, I want to do what these guys are doing. I remember going from junior high to high school, and during that first year in high school, Public Domain came out. And then all of a sudden, that McRad song comes on, black and white, Rubber Boys section. It was shot on film, and it was to the music and fast, and these guys were doing like raw skating. And that Rubber Boys section is one of the most powerful skateboarding sections ever edited, in my opinion, to this day. And I was like, whoa, this is street skateboarding. This is how a skate film's made. Right then and there was like, I want to do this. I want to make skate films. Luckily at my school, we had a video making class. We had these like huge VHS cameras, right? There was a cable that came out of the cameras that went to like a straight up deck like this. You would have this strap that went from here over your shoulder to there. So then you would have this deck hanging over your arm, and then I would like try to ride a skateboard, following my friends and just like, whoa, like we couldn't even put music to it at that point, but we were doing it. And that was 1989. I think the combination of watching these skate films and luckily having the opportunity to get access to this really rudimentary consumer grade video camera at my high school, and that was the beginnings of me filming skateboarding. I started going up to Santa Barbara and Pal opened up Skate Zone. Oh, I'm actually learning how to skate. My friends were getting good and learning how to film and film each other. Pal Skate Zone is where I ended up meeting like most of the people I know in skating. Virtual reality, a video for the senses. It's Plan B's second video and it was the premiere. The lights got dark, everyone started yelling, and then that whole 3-screen thing came on and I was just like in awe of seeing the most insane skateboarding presented the most insane way there with all of the skateboarding community going nuts. That was hands down the most insane skate video experience of my life. I knew I wanted to do skate filmmaking, but that night was like, I want to do this. I want to figure out how to do this, man. My friend Jeff Taylor, who was writing for Pal, switched over to Planet Earth. And he comes up to Santa Barbara and tells me how they're starting on a video project. I go, cool, I'm going to come down and help film for it. And he was like, really? I was like, yeah. And I was like going to school. I had multiple jobs. I had an apartment, bills, all this stuff. I just left it all there, put my stuff in a bag, hopped in the truck with Jeff, and we drove down to San Diego. It was the craziest leap of faith that I think I've ever done in my life. And just went for it. Just threw a full Hail Mary and started making this video called Silver for Planet Earth. I'd just seen that movie Slacker, where it went from one person to another. And so we kind of used that same concept. Kenny has a coin, puts it down, and then it goes over the railroad tracks, and then Caesar picks it up. I don't know. It was fun to make. That first film, Silver, was like my film school. That was day one of class, and ever since then, each one of these videos have been me learning more and more about filmmaking, and it's just been a steady progression, and I feel like I'm still in film school right now. Every day I'm learning. Right after that, Planet Earth started their sister company called Rhythm. Jose Gomez, who was doing all of the ads at the time, were doing these really cool layout ads. Jose and I talked and we were like, man, we got to do this video different. Like, let's start doing some of this stuff that Jose's doing, implementing it in the video. We started trying like all these different effects, and I remember we would watch movies and pause it and play it frame by frame, and we just started experimenting. And that's why we called the video Genesis. It felt like the birth of something different that we were just kind of exploring at the time. This same time was right when nonlinear editing was really starting to come together, and Photoshop and all this other stuff that you could do on your computer. So we would export film strip files. So all the effects you see in here, Jose did frame by frame in Photoshop. You know, we'd bring it back in the timeline and look at it and put some weird sounds to it, and it felt different. It felt cool. It had crazy music. It had crazy effects. You know, I think Jose kind of was the one that really sparked that in me, where it was like, don't make the same old thing. When I make these films, I want to try to do something new and different, and I don't care if people don't like the music. I don't care if people don't like the way a head's cut off or whatever. I just want to keep doing new and different things and not doing the exact same thing over and over again. After I was done with these 2 team videos, I was like, man, it'd be cool if I could do a full-on, all-encompassing skate film that had everyone in skating. I saw an opportunity at Transworld where I was like, oh, well, these guys are making these videos on a regular basis. Ted Newsom was doing their videos at the time, but Ted was also doing a million things. He was laying out the magazine and laying out ads for people and doing t-shirts and doing videos. I hit up Swift at Transworld and I was like, hey man, like, you think I can come in and kind of make your guys' videos? Ted and Swift were open to it. They were like, yeah, we actually just hired one of Ted's buddies from home, John Holland. John was kind of more of the editor. John was there and like laying out the ads and doing editing. And so for the first couple of videos, it was mostly me filming. Interface, Sixth Sense. And right around here is when John kind of just started filming. This video was cool because it actually had guys like talking about things in skateboarding, and we would show that, and it kind of felt more cohesive. And then the next video, Transmission 7, was like, let's go travel around and just shoot whatever. It was so bad. And I was like, man, we need to make a video that has like more talking and feeling and like why people skate. And then Century released that fisheye that everyone calls the death lens. And it was like this perfect storm of like, John's starting to film now. And then I moved back up to LA from San Diego and started hanging out with different people, and I actually started filming Chad Muska, Jason Dill, Anthony Van Engelen. John was skating with this new up and coming amateur named Neil Mims, who was just killing it. And then there was this other new kid from Finland called Arto Sari. And then since Arto was coming out with us a bunch, Jeff Raleigh started coming out. Bam and Carrie and Maldonado, when those 3 were together at their like height, all this came together for this video, feedback. And then the one thing that like really set it apart, I always remembered these crazy slow motions from like the old Plan B videos and the old A Street videos. And we would always do the slow-mos in the computer, which were super janky and budget looking. And I knew that these old videos were all made tape to tape. There was this guy named John Geffrom. Hey, my name's Ty Evans. I make skateboard films. I think you do slow motions? I'm trying to do some slow motion stuff. Yeah, I can do that. I sat down, we shook hands. He explained how it all worked in like 15 minutes, and then I just sat there all day, like wide-eyed, like, like doing it. And it was like insane, where it was like you could emphasize the tricks now. Let's say someone does a kickflip to crooked grind. It was like you could slow-mo the kickflip, but then like really slow-mo the crooked grind. And then if they came out sketchy, you could speed up part of it really fast and have them right away. And it was like this final missing link. And it was like, whoa, we're onto something. I think people recognized how different this film was and what it brought to the table. And I was proud of this, man. After feedback, then we did The Reason with Mumford. And then after The Reason, we did Modus. And I feel like Modus was the best out of all of these because it had all these things that we did with these other films. But look at the guys involved. It was Mark Johnson, Mike Carroll, Rick Howard, Scott Johnson, Shanny, Chris Lambert, Stefan, Biebel, Brian Anderson. You had the best of the best in skating in this with all this presentation that we've done with these other ones. Throughout the process of making Modus was when I really got to hang out with Carol and Rick, and I felt like I'd kind of done as much as I could at Transworld and felt like it was time to move on and do something else, and that's when I started working for Girl. You know, and in my eyes, Girl is the best skateboarding company. I think you could really see that in the videos. You know, you could see the fun side of skateboarding, and then you bring Spike's crazy ideas into everything, and you just have the most insane combination for the most insane skateboarding videos to date.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Coming on with Girl, it was a slow start. I think those guys were really used to a really slow workflow, and it took a minute. You know, we started working on Yeah Right. You know, it took like 3 years to make, so Atiba, Lee DuPont, Atiba's brother Akko, myself, all were like, man, we should make our own video, like kind of just joking. Kelly Bird used to always call me up and like play some crazy drum and bass song and leave it on my voicemail and be like, chew on this, and then he'd like play it. And then I was like, we should call the video Chew on This. And then Atiba was like, we should call it Chomp on This. I was like, yeah, Chomp on This. This one was like, everything's out the window. It's all of us just being idiots skating. For us, the hardest tricks in the world are the easiest warm-up tricks to all these other pros that we're out with every day.
Jump on this, bitch.
This, hands down, is one of my favorite skate films I've ever made. It's just fun. It feels fun, you know? And when I started working at Girl, that's what those dudes were all about. It was about fun and having a good time. And it had no rules. It had Eric Costin dating Gigi Allen. It was fun, man. You know, we started working on this video, Yeah Right, in 2000, and that didn't come out until 2003. So over the course of 3 years making this video, I made Chomp on This. I made this Lakai, Australia video, Lakai, Beware the Flare Europe tour video, made Harsh Euro Barge, and then Yeah Right came out. A lot of sleepless nights sitting in front of the computer. I love going out shooting and being with cameras and all that other stuff, but I hate sitting in front of the computer. At the end of Yeah Right was when Spike came on, and we had all these meetings, and you know, we talked about all the fun stuff we wanted to do, you know, all the high-speed stuff for the beginning, and something like The Matrix, which we did. The invisible board shoot was like a big shoot with a crew and a motion control technician and 35mm motion picture camera. That was the first time I was really around something like that, you know, and that was what was so great about working for Girl and Spike, was being around that stuff, seeing that, learning how a set works. Spike is so cool with like sharing that stuff and involving me, you know. He could have been like, oh, go to the side, Ty, I'm doing this, but like he really involved me, and super grateful to Spike and Girl for all that, you know. Seeing what he was doing, I was like, that's insane that, you know, Spike came from skateboarding doing all this insane stuff, you know, and it just made me want to learn more. All these videos, man, it's straight up film school. Whether you go to film school or you go out in the field and do it, it's the same thing. You're just learning. I feel this way takes a lot longer, and you definitely have a lot more mistakes you need to learn from. I wish I went to film school, though.
Yeah, right.